You're tuned in to Vocalo Radio 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Bekoe. Got a special guest, one of my favorite singers that's been holding it down on the Chicago music scene. She has a EP coming out. It's called Unavailable. She goes by the name of Jaas. How you doing, Jaas?
Bekoe family. How you doing, Bekoe? I'm good. At the crib chilling. How I chill.
Yeah, I see.
I was gonna try to do it. My birthday coming up in a few days, so I gotta look a little homeless. It's okay.
You gotta look a little unavailable.
I'm a trans.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, in general, like I said, I spoke on how I heard a few of your singles. I've been in tune with you since 2018. I done seen you transition, not just vocally, but on a songwriting level. I done just seen your development front hand, and I've been amazed. Your vocals are superior. And I just want to know, like, how did you get your start in music, and what influenced you to stay doing R&B?
I mean, I got like a typical story. It's like my mom used to pay me dollars to sing for the people at church. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always had like a little voice, but I went to school, the typical route, and, college, all that kind of stuff like my dad wanted, because they're very traditional. And then like, I just was like, no, it's something missing, you know what I'm saying? Wound up moving to Chicago. I'm not originally from here, but moved here and just found a whole culture, like got my first studio experience, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, a few years back, I started like releasing singles and gained a really good traction. I'm very proud of it. But the project, it take a little more to put together like a project and a body of work. So I took my time, you know what I'm saying, really nurtured it and didn't really look for a result for real. Just wanted to like tell a story that was authentic, you know what I'm saying? I think we did that. We here now.
Yeah, we here now, most definitely. Now I got a sneak peek of this project beforehand. I'm gonna jump into that in a second, but you said you're originally not from Chicago. So where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from like DMV area. So like I lived in Laurel, Maryland. I've lived in DC. I've lived in New York. I've lived all over like the East Coast. But yeah, Chicago is my home now. I've been here like 10 plus years. So.
Wow. I didn't know you would like traveling like that. So yeah, you've pretty much got a taste of different music coaches in different cities for some years.
Absolutely. And I definitely, my grandma was really eclectic. So I pride myself in that, just definitely having a big palette, just fashion, everything like taste. While I think I have some good taste, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I've been and witnessed a lot around the States, you know what I'm saying? Even like in fashion, food, all that kind of stuff. Like I've got to experience a lot, the silver spoon and the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like for sure.
Now, with you experiencing different cultures outside of Chicago, because you already know we got the best of the best, but outside of Chicago, like what's another city that, really influenced you as a person and influenced your sound as well?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've lived somewhere everywhere. I've actually lived in Miami too, at a really young age. My mom is Bahamian, so she came right from the islands, and Miami was the first destination. So I say more than like a place, I would say that, my mom's Caribbean side and just like a lot of the like street urban mentality from just living like maybe in New York and shit like that kind of influenced me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the Mecca of hip hop. So I could see that being of an influence, most definitely.
Yeah, I like a lot of like heavy bass in my music. Like my voice is very soft, but it kind of contrasts with the bass that I use in my music. So,
I'm gonna stick on the topic of influence because I also want to know some of your musical influences. Because when I hear your music, I get like a 90s vibe, like a 90s R&B vibe. And I specifically mentioned 90s because that's one of my favorite eras of R&B. And I feel like you're bringing that back, but of course it has the new spin on it. But that's how I feel when I hear your music. It just it brings me back in time, like when R&B was that deal. So what are some of your musical influences?
I love like Missy Elliott, Pharrell, um, some of those like cooler styles. I love Lauryn Hill. I love Sade. Um, just as much as I love like the newer Party Next Door and who else do I really love Blue Vandross right now. Like
Young Blue.
Young Blue. I love him. But as far as like, yeah, I would say those are my influences musically.
Yeah, that's a good pot
Yeah,
to brewery in right there.
for sure. And I probably missed a couple. Can't forget Frank Ocean. Um, yeah, it's a lot of them that influenced me. Of course, Beyonce, the queen, but like 90s, yeah, Lauryn Hill and like Jill Scott and Music Soul Child, like all of those my dad would play, I know, like in the car, stuff like that. So very soulful, jazzy type of shit.
I don't brag a lot about R&B singers. Actually, I'm wrong. I do, because R&B is one of my favorite genres. But if I brag about an artist, that means that I really like the talent. And I've been bragging about you lately. I've been playing your new single, Why, during the Windy City Hour, which is also on your Unavailable EP. So let's talk a little bit about this EP title, Unavailable.
In a nutshell, it's just kind of like really bringing back that theme of like self-love and just empowerment of self, you know, just like without getting too deep, because I want the music to speak for the situation. It really does. But you know, I was kind of tied in a relationship and, you know, kind of lost my way a little bit along the ride. And it wasn't all bad, of course. It's never all bad. But when you start to like lose sight and grip of just like your own well-being and just like what's best for you, gotta kind of like check back in with yourself, you know. So it was a lot of that. A lot of just like independence came about too in the midst of this project. I moved into my crib and just like, you know, kind of resurfaced a new like just state of independence, you know what I'm saying? So like kind of just moving on my own terms. And it's like this project represents like the stage right before like the bad bitch stage. Like, you know, you in something, you fucked up, you whatever, like, and then like, but you almost out of it, you know what I'm saying? Almost to yourself again, you know. So unavailable until further notice.
I like the way you put that, because I was wondering, I'm like, it's got to be a deeper meaning behind this, because you really haven't been unavailable on the music side. You've been there releasing several singles, like you stated, and for you to finally be able to put together a solid body of a solid EP, I'm happy for you. But what you was going to say?
Thank you. But I am going to say there is the intro actually is a voicemail clip, which I used as part of like a promo or whatever. But like, long story short, it is a clip of people calling in for actually a long time. I mean, I haven't dropped anything in the last 6 months. So even though it might seem like I've been consistent, it might just be because like I drop, every time I drop, I always have intention. I try to drop some quality so it lasts a long time. But I haven't dropped in 6 months, you know what I'm saying? So like people were kind of on my ass, like, hold on now, you're a new artist, you know, you already kind of got a little buzz. Let's get it going, let's get it moving, you know, where you at? Let's drop, where's the music? You know, so I have a little a skit about that too. But that's a part of the title as well, you know, just kind of like dipping off, nobody really knowing where to find me, how to reach me, or what's going on with me. That's kind of a thing too.
Like I said, I heard the project early, no skips, none. And I salute you on that. I want to also touch on Classic Studios, because they've been around and definitely helped create the sound here in Chicago for years. Okay. You recently linked up with Classic Studio, Chris Classic, Elton. And you know, we're linking up with them and having them really create and just dive into your sound a little bit more. How was that for you as an artist, and what are some things you learned from, you know, working alongside Classic Studios?
Man, those guys are amazing, first and foremost. Yeah, like it's crazy, like back a couple years ago, like I was dating this guy that was a rapper, and that was my first encounter with Classic Studios, and I had already heard like great stories about L and like Chance and just all of the people who kind of like came there, you know what I'm saying? And so long story short, I was just so shy. I was still like not even a full artist yet. I was always like behind the shadow of him and just watching the process. And fast forward and look where we are, you know what I'm saying? My manager, Vince, shout out to him, kind of like put the whole thing together, just thought that it would be a good fit for me. And they wound up really actually understanding me a lot. Like I didn't have to really mold or change myself at all. Like they kind of just encouraged me to be fully me and just really be like, talk about my most authentic experience with everything that's going on in my life. And the project just kind of tied itself together after that. So yeah, shout out to Chris and Elle. They really, they did a lot to get me here.
When I learned that, you know, you all partnered up, I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's crazy. Oh, it's crazy because like I definitely noticed like people started saying different stuff to me about like, oh yeah, you're a superstar, and you know, like just, you know, little shit. And I'm like the most realist, like down to earth shit. Like you see, I could be like dolled up, like bad bitch status right now. I'm chilling, literally. Like this is my headscarf, like this and thing. I brush my teeth with a little lip gloss, but like, I'm very much like real all the time. So it's like for people to say, oh, superstar and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? It started to get funny a little bit, like, you know, but I do understand who they are and like who I'm working with and what the possibilities is. So I'm very excited.
It's crazy to hear people, you know, say that about you, because we've bumped into each other several times, and you're one of the most supportive artists in the city. Literally, you're everywhere.
Definitely like to support other artists. That's my thing.
So to hear people say you superstar, look at here, y'all. Stop tripping. She is not superstar. Now she is gonna be a superstar because what y'all put together is solid. And I can hear the sound change. You know, like I can hear that they really focus on just leveling up your sound even more, because you already had it, and then you work with a set of producers. You already had a set studio you would go out of. So to see you link with another set of ears that's really been making an impact on the industry, it was like, yeah, it's go time.
I can't let this topic go by without mentioning my homie Rosart though. That's who I kind of originally started locking in with, and he has like almost like half the project. So I did work with a lot of talented people. Vision made the joint wide, which is fucking crazy. Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep that. Who I originally started banging this project out with. So he definitely is one of the executive producers. So
now, what can people expect on Unavailable EP as far as how many tracks and, you know, what's the sound gonna be like?
Well, 6 tracks. And man, it's definitely just I would just say it's a vibe. I know that sounds so stupid because like every artist gonna say that, but like nah, it's literally it tells a story if you really pay attention to the track list and how it's lined up. It gives you a whole look inside of just my personal life, and I think that the reason it should do well is because it's so relatable. I literally put my whole everything in this shit, so it's kind of like, you know, I know it's women around the world, all kind of women around the world that can relate, and men are gonna like it too. I'm always surprised when men like my music, but I get it now. I'm just super cool as hell. So like, you know, it's like smooth. I'm not bashing guys on it. I'm not like, oh fuck a nigga, you know. It's like it's literally just really like cool music. That bass gonna smack in the car too.
You know, I had it playing in my car.
For sure.
I want to say earlier this year, you went to LA, if I'm not mistaken, for a writing boot camp. How did this boot camp help you out as an artist? And, you know, what were some of the challenges for you, and what were some of the pros for you?
I loved the writing camp for Issa Rae. It was amazing. The hosted event was just entirely just amazing. Like it was 10 rooms that you can go in and out of and record. It had like a bar at the top. they fed us good every day. Like, and I met so many great creatives, but I can't really credit that being really like by that time, my project was kind of almost like in the done stages. I really, instead of crediting that as like an experience that molded or whatever, I want to credit the first writing camp that I ever been to, which was with LVRN in Atlanta. Just the tip end of last year. And I actually got that opportunity by getting on a live with Justice. He's the like head A&R over at LVRN, which has Summer Walker and Black. And I got flued out. I was excited. There was like other writers though, obviously there. And I just made a point, like, and I said, I'm not leaving until I, just actually introduce and, like really get my music played and heard and whatever I got to do, So I introduced myself to all 5 or 6 of them over at LVRN, just like, yo, I'm Jaas, is there a way that you can like hear me out, whatever. And Justice was super cool and nice. And he's the one who kind of like got me out there. So long story short, I actually recorded one of my tracks, which is inspired the title of the project with them. And with the producer Slim Wave. He's also a Summer's music director. And I think from that writing camp was probably the most influential that I've had on my career of all time. Like Justice is like a mini Diddy. So like having a conversation with him was just very impactful, I would say. And definitely helped my process of just like banging this through,
You said banging it through. So like when you say banging it through, are you saying more so of your writing style or the way you actually record?
Just my hunger to really get to the best that I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have always settled for just having a nice voice, but making sure that I had a message and an intent behind my music. I mean, he gave me so many gems. I could probably talk for a whole hour, but that's kind of what I got from it. And like I said, they extended my trip. I was able to really sit with Slim and like produce a whole record, and they had their like master writers in there with me, just kind of like egging me on the whole time. It was an amazing experience, and it made me really want to push to get that best, like I said, that best message out and my rawest self out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure.
I definitely appreciate you taking out some time. I've been spinning your record during the Windy City Hour. It's titled Why. It's the first single off of your Unavailable EP. You care to let people know who produced it, as well as break down how people can get this EP, as well as stay in tune and updated with what you have going on in the near future?
Yes. You can follow me at #1, Jaas, 2 A's with an S, XX, Jaas XX on all platforms. And yes, the producers, like I said, executive produced by Rosart, and All Days on there. I got my boy Vision and Slim Wave over at LVRN. They went crazy. Production is super heavy and just out this world. So I think more than anything, we kind of like we hit it on the nail with that. But yeah, just like, man, it's up Monday. It's up.